All right. Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another video. Let's talk about how tough it is to really get started trading, okay? I know a lot of you out there are probably beginner traders, just kind of dabbling and learning about trading and trying to figure out where to turn to actually learn, I guess, in a sense, or at least to gather some education so that you can kind of further yourself along to kind of start to figure out what is trading and how do I really get into it. What markets do I want to trade? What market, singular, do I want to trade? You know, and how should I go about actually trading as a whole? Because, you know, there's so many different strategies and ways to actually trade. And some people trade differently than I do. When I say some, I mean many, because I trade supply and demand. And I've been doing it for a number of years, and I haven't deviated or moved away from it because I love trading supply and demand. To me, ultimately, if you're not trading supply and demand or really don't know what supply and demand is, first of all, I would do my homework to kind of educate yourself about supply and demand, okay? Aggressive areas of buying and selling, okay? I'm just going to throw that out there. And educate yourself very well. I have tons of videos here on this channel that you can watch to kind of, you know, gain some means of education and gather information to help you along. But you don't have to get it from me. You could go on and watch, you know, or learn by Googling or researching online about supply and demand. But I highly recommend you stepping into that arena to at least kind of get an understanding of what supply and demand is about. It has been a game changer for me in the way that I trade in my daily, okay? I am a scalper, all right? So which means I intraday trade the market, so I don't put on swing or position trades. I'm not saying that you can't do so, but, you know, I like to be engaged in what I'm doing on the daily when I'm trading. So I'm looking for quick scalps, whether it's, you know, for 3 or 4 points or, you know, for 10 points plus, you know, depending on the market, okay? Today was actually a great day. I picked up some nice pointers in trading the ES futures, all right? Here on this channel, we primarily trade the index or indice futures, all right? So that could be the NASDAQ, which some of you guys may know as the NASDAQ 100, the NQ futures, the ES futures, whether you trade the micros or the minis. So you got the, you know, you got the MES and then the ES. Some of you may trade the Dow. So that's pretty much primarily what we trade here within this community, okay? I'm talking about the Discord. So that's another thing that you can actually, you know, take place or take part of is the Discord here on this channel. You can find that link down below in the description portion of this video. But, you know, I want to talk to you today more so about scalping and why a lot of traders find it very complex, you know, to do and try to take trades, you know, quick entries getting in and out the market. A lot of people rather get into a trade setup, looking at a higher time frame and just kind of weathering the storm and staying in, you know, if the market is bearish and they want to just weather the storm, excuse me, and stay in a trade going bearish. Forgive me, guys, a little bit. I'm under the weather just slightly. But anyways, and trying to battle and get over a little cold. But I did want to drop a video for you guys today. But scalping can be very difficult for some, you know, especially if you're trying to, you know, move over from being a positional swing trader to just trying to scalp it on the daily. But once you kind of fine tune things when it comes to your charts, you know, you can see plenty of opportunities and scalps you can take. And that's why I love scalping, because I don't want to spend hours upon hours, you know, staying into a trade and then constantly having to look at my phone, or which I don't trade on my phone, or, you know, at my desktop, a tablet, whatever the case is, just trying to figure out where the market is all the time because I know I'm in a position. I like to take my 2 hours into the market, get in and get out of trades, take my profit and move on for that day, you know, because that's the beauty about trading is as traders, we can trade for an hour, maybe 30 minutes, sometimes maybe 2 hours, but versus having to stay, you know, for an 8 hours or 10 hours or working 12 hours, we can make our money within a short period of time and move on about our business or our day. That's the beauty and reason why I love scalping. I've never been a positional swing style trader, and so that's why I'm putting this out there. If you're someone that's new to trading and who is a beginner trader, look at scalping, you know, learn about scalping and how you can actually scalp. Now, I scalp using supply and demand, okay? And it's a great opportunity because all you're doing is you're focusing on key areas of supply and demand, and looking for quick pointers to pick up, off a couple of trades. Sometimes it could be one trade and you're done. Sometimes it could be just 2 or 3. But that's where you want to fine tune your own trading plan and try to figure out, what is your actual goal. Do you want to take a one and done type trade situation? Or do you typically want to look for 2 or 3 trades, scalp, pick up 3 or 4 points here and there, and you end up with maybe 6, 7, 8 points on the ES a day, or multiple points off the NASDAQ, whatever your market of preference is. Now, scalping, you have to really zoom in and really define key areas, and that's why I talk about using multiple time frame or multiple means of confluence when it comes to charting. And the strategy and how I trade supply and demand, I talk about it in depth on this channel, okay, upon many videos, okay? So you can go and watch the videos and pick up, and understand, hopefully, the way that I actually trade, just as there are tons of other traders that are part of the Discord community or members that have picked up the way I trade, and kind of either A, mirrored it, or B, kind of they used the strategy and tweaked it to make it, incorporate into their own trading plan or strategy and use it to their advantage. So, you could kind of take something that someone else has and make it your own because you can incorporate other things into it. So, but to me, my trading, I love to be as simplistic as possible. And, once you found something that works, a system, I would recommend sticking with it, guys. Don't start veering off from it and start trying to, mesh or merge a bunch of stuff together, because then you'll start confusing yourself. The thing about trading is make it as simple as possible. Okay, simplicity. That's the way I like to handle things in my life, and even when I'm sitting in front of my charts, that's what I'm looking for. I don't try to make things complex. When you start piling on indicators and you start analyzing things way too far in depth, then you're going to start making missing some trades and start making some mistakes. So, but I want to show you today, a few trades that I took, supply and demand, okay, because that's where it's at, guys. I highly recommend, again, if you do not understand and know much about supply and demand, please take the time, stop what you're doing, watch some of the videos here in this channel, watch multiple videos in this channel, become part of the Discord in this community by clicking on or finding the link to the Discord down in the description portion of this video. Now, the first trade I took today was, I saw price yesterday moving into the close of the session, tapping into a higher time frame supply zone. Okay. Now, when we are talking about higher time frames, we're talking about, for me, I look at my 60 range chart. If you trade time-based charts, it could be a 1 hour chart or higher. Whenever price is tapping into a major area of supply or demand off the higher time frame, take heed to it, okay? Because it's probably going to reject that area, especially if the market is already moving in a direction, say to the downside, okay? Where we got bearish sentiment, and then price pulls back to a higher time frame or a key area of supply. What do you think it's going to do? It's going to more than likely reject that area. It's just up to us as scalp traders to really, depict the best opportunity to get into a trade and where to actually take our profit at, okay? All right? So I'm speaking to you guys who are beginner traders. If you're a beginner trader, trade in the direction of your higher time frame, okay? If you're looking and you see and you notice price is pulling back and retracing to a key area of supply, which I'm going to show you here in a moment, the market's already it's bearish, moving to the downside, and price retraces to that higher time frame supply zone. Look and wait for an opportunity to take your short, okay? Take that opportunity. And that's how you're going to be able to pick up, get into a nice trade that unfolds for you to profit very nicely. It doesn't take a lot, guys, to, move from a beginner trader and start becoming more experienced. Just practice, practice, practice. Look for these type zones on your charts, off your higher time frame, and then scale down to lower time frame to kind of zoom in on an entry point, okay? So I want to show you this right quick, okay? Now this is my 60 range chart, okay? My higher time frame, which I will mark zones off of. And if I notice that when price taps into a higher time frame, say for instance right here, this was a supply zone right here. I'm gonna mark it up for you just for a quick reference. This right here was a supply zone off the higher time frame, and it approached that area towards the close of yesterday's trading session. All right, and into the overnight hours, it started rejecting it. Okay. So when I came to my charts this morning, early part of this morning, and I saw that we were rejecting that area, I scaled down to a lower time frame to find a key point of entry that I could at least take the trade back down to an area. All right, so now what I noticed that once price retraced back and tapped into this key area of supply right here, when price was rejecting from September the 7th, started moving higher, making higher highs and higher lows on the higher time frame, we had a push up, a pullback, and a break of structure right here, okay? So which means that there's going to be some key area of demand that if price rejects off of this higher time frame supply, that it's going to move down to and test that an area of demand. So we had aggressive buy-in right here to the upside that took out structure on the push up where it tapped into the supply zone off the higher time frame. So what I did was I scaled down to look for an entry, to be able to look for rejection to get into an entry to go short, taking price back down to this area of demand right here, okay? At least up back down to around 47, 48 area, okay? And price kept pushing lower than that, as you can see. We got a lot of aggressive selling in here to the downside, okay? That's because price tapped into a higher time frame supply zone here, okay? Now, this zone area, this blue rectangular shape area, that's that supply zone from the higher time frame 60 range, okay? Now, I saw price tap into it, right? All right, so I'm looking for rejection. And a lot of times I like to see maybe a breaker structure in the opposite direction and a pullback to go short, right? Well, what I noticed is that price kept pushing up into the supply zone, right? All right, and what happened here, it pushed up, started making higher highs and higher lows, still pushing to the upside in that supply zone. So we're still in that area. Now, into the overnight session, okay, I'm not awake at this time, all right? But I was already mindful towards the close of yesterday's session that there could be possible rejection. So price started rejecting. We made this wick here, this on my 12 range chart. I scaled down now to a lower time frame chart. Now, so I talk about scaling down once price taps into a higher time frame supply or demand zone. It started throwing wicks right here. Okay, that's a typical sign of rejection. Right here, pull back, wicked again, making a lower high here, and it starts to move to the downside. Now, typically what I like to see is a breaker structure below on a lower time frame than a pullback to go short, right? All right, so we really didn't get that until after around 8:30 when the market finally broke down. It took out some area of structure down here below, okay? But I was into the trade prior to that happening, okay? Because what I did was I scaled down to a lower time frame chart, my 4 range chart, okay? But still, this is a sign of rejection right here. And typically, a lot of people, what they like to do, traders, anyone that knows about the M structure, price did this right here. It made a, kind of a push up here, pull back, pushed up, pull back. So you get a kind of an M structure, resting right here. So, oops, sorry about that. But anyways, did it again. And that kind of signifies, a means of rejection. A lot of people, they'll look for M structures to go short, W's to go long, those type of things. But what I was looking for, well, again, I saw rejection up here. I already knew because we're in a higher time frame, supplies on the price is probably going to reject this area. So I scaled down to my 4 range chart this morning after waking up, because what I noticed, which I'm going to show you now, I'm going to minimize this chart. Again, this is on the 4 range right here, okay? 4 range, tap into that big blue shaded area. That's the 60 range demand off the higher time frame. Now, again, I wanted to see some means of breaker structure to the downside, okay? And we get it, we get it. Price starts moving lower, okay? Pulls back, boom, it breaks lower, taking out areas of structure as it continues moving lower, right? But this right here was a pullback to an area on the 4 range chart to an area of give me 1 second, guys. My chart is kind of sticking a little bit. There it goes. Pulls back to an area of supply right here on the 4 range. So when it pulls back there, you can look for an opportunity to go short. Now, this is at 3 something in the morning, 3:50 in the morning. I'm not up then, okay? I wasn't up. This is during the London session. But you could have went short is what I'm trying to say, all right? Because the market had already started showing signs of rejection when it tapped into the higher time frame supply off the 60 range chart. Look, scaling down to the 12 range chart, we see that price, it starts to throw those wicks, sign of rejection, making an M structure, and then it starts to move lower. Then I scaled down to my 4 range chart after I got up this morning, which was around about 7:45, 8 o'clock when I started noticing that after price rejected that area off the 60 range chart, that supply zone, and started making lower lows, lower highs, breaking structure. Right here, if I was up, I would have taken that trade. But here, the market pulled back at 6:30 this morning, rejected. So I was just looking at this point as I was looking for an opportunity for an entry point to get into the trade. All right. I got into the trade around this area right here. Okay. Because I saw price was still rejecting to, when it broke structure to the downside to push any higher. Okay. So I was just looking for pullback, an area for pullback to get into a trade. And this ellipse area right here was primarily, the area where I was focused on getting to my trade at. Why? Because right here, this is around 8 o'clock. The market pulled back. We're above a high volume area here. We're showing signs that price does not want to continue pushing higher. A, because we're at the higher time frame supply zone. B, because it's already started breaking down on the lower time frame 12 range chart and even on the 4 range. So I started noticing all those signs that we are in an attempt to break lower and test again some areas below, possibly an area of demand below. So that's what I was focusing on, was price to reject off of the higher time frame and start to break down and look for an area of demand below. And that's what I did. I basically took a trade from an area of supply off the higher time frame. Didn't take the trade off the higher time frame, but zoomed down or scaled down. Once we rejected off the higher time frame, and then I looked on the higher time frame to see where there's a possible area of demand at. And once I saw on the lower time frame that we started getting rejection, I started aiming for those areas of demand, or that area of demand on the higher time frame. And that's what price did. I mean, the market actually did that. So again, I'm showing it to you now. Rejection off of the higher time frame supply. I started scaling down, looking for signs of rejection off the lower time frames. I looked for a pullback, a key area, or a nice entry point to get in off my 4 range. Took the shot, and my aim was to come for price to come down here and test this area of demand right here. Primarily, it came on down. 43 would have been a good point to take profit, but I had my profit target sitting around, I think it was, let me double check. 47.5 was where I originally had it at. I took out at 7 points a little early because the market was slow at that time, and I wasn't quite sure leading up to the opening what the market was going to actually do. So I took my 7 points, but anyways, it continued running down and pushing lower. Now, and ultimately, you probably would have wanted to stay in the trade until price reached this area here at 43, because this was, taking it from supply back down to demand. Okay, so that's why I got out the trade, and that would have been a nice entry point. Well, that's not where I got the trade at. My target for my last contract was resting at 47.5, but I took out a little earlier than that and got out at 7 points. But this right here at 43 would have been a nice opportunity or a nice area to get out the trade at, in a sense. Okay. And that trade I posted over on the Discord community. So if you're not part of our Discord, you could, join. There's a channel there called the Trading Floor, to where we as traders share our entries, screenshots of those entries. And, for anyone that may get confused and don't quite understand one of the fellow members' trades, whatever the case is, you can always, ask, say, hey, would you let me know why you took that trade, whatever the case is? What did you see? But I'm telling you why I took this trade here is because I saw that price was rejecting a higher time frame supply zone, and I was looking to go from supply back down to demand. Okay, and that's why I took it. All right, and so then price, I move back up to my 12 range chart, because this is primarily my entry chart. But price starts to move lower, and we start to break areas of structure to the downside. Okay, and taking out key areas again of structure here and right here. So once I started seeing price started to fold and move to the downside, started making lower lows and lower highs, breaking structure, I started shifting to really start looking for short entries. All right, and this ellipse right here, this blue area right here, this was an opportunity to go short. Okay, why? Price broke an area of structure right here. I want to move to the downside. Okay, this right here became a key area of supply right here. This was supply, or key area of aggressive selling. Okay, price started pushing to the downside here, broke this area of structure, pull us back. This is a key area of supply resting right here. Okay, if you can't see it, I'll mark it off right quick. This was the zone. Okay, all right, there it is right there. Now I know most people are going to say that been following the channel, are going to say, oh well, that supply area is the gap back to that area has already been filled right there, on the move back up. When price broke lower here, it actually pulled back right here and pulled back to that key area or that area where they fill in the gap off that supply zone. It did. But what I did was when it retraced back to that zone again after breaking this area structure right here, I scaled down to my 4-range chart. I'm going to show you now how you can really fine tune your entry points. Okay, so I'm going to show you that right now. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put this on all charts so you can see it on the 4-range. Okay. All right. So this area you see right here is that boxed. I'm on my 4-range now. That area right there is off. That's that supply zone off of the 12-range chart that's already been tapped into. Okay, prior to. But when price came back to it after breaking that area structure that I just showed you off the 12-range chart, okay, the retracement right here. All right, what price did on the move back up, it actually broke a key area structure on the 4-range right here. So when I saw price break that area structure on the 4-range, okay, and tap back into an area of supply off of the 12-range chart, and we were already moving to the downside, all I did was I was looking for basically a break of structure below on the 4-range for price to move back down, and then a pullback to go short, because and for price to aim for this area of demand below. That's all I did. You know, price tapped into the 12R supply area, okay, but I noticed that it was already tapped into, okay, but when price pulled back to it again, all right, pulled back to it, all I was doing was waiting because we were already moving to the downside. On the 4-range chart now, after we broke structure to the upside, was a break of structure back pushing lower, okay, all right, and then once I saw that we had demand below, so I was aiming for demand on basically a retracement after the break of structure below, pull back to go short to fill this area right down here, back down here at 26 3/4 pretty much, okay. And I believe I got in somewhere over here, because I think I waited for a second test. It actually broke this area coming when it pushed lower here after rejection off that 12R supply zone. It broke it, and then when it pulled back up and rejected it again, that's when I went short to aim for this area here at 26 3/4. And I also posted that entry on Discord as well. And let me see here. Give me 1 second. And I got in at 31 3/4 and got out at 27 1/2. Okay, so I took that trade there short. All right, but I just wanted to show you that it's possible, even as a beginner trader, to scalp to make money on the future indexes. Okay, it doesn't matter if you trade the ES or the NASDAQ. You can definitely do so. You just have to train your eye to really look for and be precise with those entries, and that's why using multiple time frame charts and scaling down, again, like I showed you, use your higher time frame, mark your zone, scale down, look at your lower time frame once price is at that zone to see if you get some rejection, and just kind of zoom in on where you should be able to look for those rejections for one, and if you can get a break of structure on a lower time frame and pull back, then go short. As an example I showed you on the supply area off my 60-range chart. Okay, it's very easy to do so if you just follow and look for key areas of supply and demand. It's not difficult, guys. It's actually pretty simple. You just have to practice it, and then you'll start to be able to pick up certain things. And the better that you get at it, then you can actually start using lower time frame charts like the 12 range and just scalping off the 4 range and things of that nature. Now, that comes with experience. I will say that. Just as I did right here on this trade right here, this was a scalp off the 4R, noticing what took place on the 12R, okay? All right? I wasn't even looking at my 60R, all right? I had already noticed that we started breaking down and started making lower lows and lower highs, breaking structure, so I just paired my 12R and my 4R together and looked for the entry off my 4-range chart, my lowest time frame, okay? But anyways, I'm going to stop talking now because my voice is getting a little raspy, and I wish everyone a wonderful weekend. I hope everyone was green today and picked up some nice profit in the market, regardless of what future market you actually trade. But yeah, if you want to join the Discord, find the link down in the description portion of the video. Click on it, invite yourself in. Monday through Friday, we're on the trading floor, okay? Most everyone who's part of the Discord, or, if you just want to sit back and just kind of watch and maybe join. If you got questions, you can ask away on the general chat channel. So come over and join us. If you are currently not a subscriber to the channel, take the time to click on the sub button down below, the subscribe button. Make sure there is a little bell. Click on that, guys, because just by subscribing, you're not going to get notified or be notified when new videos drop, new content drops that I put out for And all this information I'm putting out here is for free, guys. Again, if you're someone that's new to watching this, I started this channel because I want to be able to reach others and help others along, okay? And showing them how I trade using supply and demand, okay? Again, you don't have to trade like me, but we do have a lot of successful traders that are part of the Discord community, and those that are still in the process, of getting to where they want to be at, and faring, 100 times better than they were where they were at a year ago or 2 or 3 years ago. Trust me, if you don't, come over to the Discord and ask away. All right, but invite yourself to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button. Click on the bell to make sure you never miss one of the uploads here on the channel. Go down to the description portion of the video and invite yourself into the Discord by clicking on the link in the description. And what else is there? Oh, drop a like on the video, guys, okay? Please drop a like on the video if you like the content. Also, people always are asking me on the daily how they can join and become an elite member. An elite membership is $6.99 a month. What it gives you is, it's basically, YouTube has these tier programs, okay? And here on this channel here, if you click on the join button or join link on the video, you'll see a little link that says join somewhere near the subscribe button. Click on that. You'll see 2 tiers pop up. The elite membership, that's where you get the rewards like the emojis, the badges. You get the trade breakdowns. That's the reason why most people have already joined. Because when I post those type videos, I go into depth about my trades in regards to what I was thinking leading up to the trade and why I took that trade. Okay, I haven't posted one recently, but there are already tons of those types of videos on for the elite members. Okay, I probably will try to do one this weekend, but there are already tons of those, and that's how people here on this channel and part of the community are actually, I guess I want to say, learning or picking up information and faring well themselves. I'm not an educator, I'm not a teacher, I'm not an instructor, I don't claim to be one. I'm just here to share what I know. But again, for $6.99, you get the trade breakdowns as well as the video playlist. The video playlist is just a group of videos that I've hand selected so that you don't have to watch almost 600 videos to really kind of get an understanding of the way I trade. Okay, so we're talking about pennies on a dollar. Price of a cup of coffee, $6.99 a month. And basically what you're doing, you're supporting me as a content creator by pushing out this content to help you along in your own your path or journey or venture to becoming a better trader. Okay, so I thank everyone that is currently an elite member. We have tons of individuals or traders that have already become part of the YouTube elite membership program and are doing pretty well. If you don't believe me, you can come over to the Discord and ask. But again, it's $6.99, price of a cup of coffee, guys. That's all it is. But I'm going to, beat that horse to death, whatever the case is. I'm going to jump off now and take care of some other things. I'm done for today for my trading. I took actually 3 entries on the ES. I didn't show the last one because it's just, the video has been too long. But I wish everyone a successful and safe trading day and have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you guys next week.